Hello and welcome to Financial Math 2. If you had Financial Math 1, you will remember that we did all of our lessons here on the chalkboard, but in Financial Math 2, we're going to make that transition to the whiteboard. And so this very first video lesson is going to be about the financial pyramid. So it's going to give you a little bit of a refresher. It's going to introduce some new concepts we're going to be talking about this semester. And so without further ado, let's get to it. So here's a look at the financial pyramid, and what we're going to do is think of that person as you. And in Financial Math 1, you started all the way at the bottom there. You're going to climb, and we're going to make it all the way to here in this class. However, we're not going to make it to the very last step, and you're going to learn why that is in this video. And, quick, let's zoom in on our stick figure guy there, and poor guy, there's a little bit of tear because he's not going to make it all the way to the top. But let's go ahead and start with the very base level, and this is the building blocks to all things finance. Is going to start with basic budgeting. And basic budgeting is a very simple concept to understand because it's going to take that original equation of money made minus money spent, and you're just going to figure out, is there a profit or loss? Did you make money or did you lose money? And all you're going to do is, all you need to know for that is addition and subtraction. So that's the very lowest level of understanding finance, but you need that level to understand everything else that comes after it. Is you got to master basic budgeting first. The second level of the pyramid is going to be similar. It's going to be basic budgeting plus basic tax knowledge. And so if you are on this level, you should be able to know how to calculate a profit or loss after you make a basic tax calculation. So if you remember from Financial Math 1, roughly 30 to 35% will be taken out for most people from taxes. So you got to figure out if you can turn a profit or loss after you are able to take out a rough tax estimate. You don't have to be a tax guru on it, but just know how to make that basic tax calculation and then do your profit or loss after that. The third level is going to be inflation and the devaluing of money, understanding that concept. So understanding that your money over time, the buying power of your money actually decreases over time. So that's the third level of understanding money and finance, is understanding inflation and the devaluing of money. Fourth tier, this is where you got to understand interest, APR, and APY. So these are three things that they actually all mean the same thing. They're just three words of saying the same thing. You got interest, APR means annual percentage rate, APY means annual percentage yield. It all means the same thing. It's all just interest. And so there's two types of interest. There's the good interest, which is investing interest, and that's where you make extra money on money you invest. And then there is also bad interest, which is called debt interest, and that's extra money that you have to pay back on debt. So knowing the two types of those, and again, you can see those words interest, APR, APY, they all mean the same thing, whether it's talking about debt or it's talking about investing interest. The key for you is you got to understand which one is the good and which one is the bad. So then we're going to move to the fifth tier, and that's where you can actually get to understand the specific loans and types of debt, and also specific investment types. So think about first the loans and debt specifics. You got student loans, mortgage loans, auto loans, and just knowing all the different types of specific loans you can get yourself involved in. Then there's specific investment types. So if you buy a specific stock like a company like Amazon, or a cryptocurrency or currency like Bitcoin, those are two specific assets. Or another specific asset would be something like a government bond. But you also can understand investment types like things like ETFs, where you buy all market funds. So like if you just wanted to buy the S&P 500 fund or buy the NASDAQ 100 Invesco QQQ fund, knowing what ETFs are and what different and specific investment types are. And the last level of the blue is compounding interest and debt. And so that is going to be the understanding the exponential growth concept of reoccurring investments or reoccurring debt. So that means if you're just continuously putting more money into something week after week or month after month over the course of time, that is just going to grow exponentially. And that is a fundamental concept to understanding in finance, and it is why it's on one of the higher levels. So all of these concepts right here in the blue, we actually covered all of these in Financial Math 1, so giving you a brief little refresher on each one of those. But now we're moving in to the red here. And the first thing that we're going to learn about in this semester is going to be advanced investing and trading techniques. Then we're going to cover understanding retirement, because people hear the word retirement, but retirement is a little more complicated than just one day you just are retired. And then we're also going to cover advanced taxes and the tax law. So get used to these three right here. That is what Financial Math 2 is going to focus on most, is going to be advanced investing and trading techniques, understanding like more fundamentally what retirement is and how to get there, and then understanding more advanced taxes, different tax techniques, and understanding the tax law in the US and how there's a bunch of different types of taxes. So those are the big three we're going to focus on in this class. And then let's look at what is that last top level here. And that's going to be legal financial loopholes. And the reason we're not going to cover those because I actually do not know that much about them or that much specifics on them, because really if you want to know this stuff, you have to be a big time lawyer or you have to be filthy rich, and I am neither of those. So because of that, we're going to focus on everything below the red. And if you're looking at this pyramid and you're like, I kind of forgot a lot of stuff from Financial Math 1, that's okay. Throughout this course, there's also going to be a lot of refreshers and skill strengtheners so you can kind of remember those skills and leave the course really kind of understanding all of this stuff. So that's a brief run through of the course and what you can expect this semester. And instead of have a nice day, this time it's going to be take it easy.